Yo, we rolling deep with the Jets on the rise. A team full of dreams under these bright skies. The world is our stage, we ain't gonna hide. Green and white till we die. Jets worldwide, wide. Johnny Boy and Snowball in the zone. Yeah, we're family here, never alone. Jets worldwide, this is where we shine. A true dedication, victory's our sign. Green and white forever, we in our prime. You know we gon' rise, just give it some time. 2025, hear the crowd going wild. You know we spitting truth, nothing but style. A city that never sleeps, we going buck wild. Our hearts beat as one. Jets worldwide, wide. Victory's a feeling, we won't let go.
Victory's a feeling we still don't know.
All of our future quarterbacks are getting beat up in that video. Jacoby Brissett, Kyler Murray, we're killing them all.
Yep.
Save these men. We need them.
Make a video that makes no sense.
It made sense at the time, and you know that's when all hope was alive. Well, there's new hope, Johnny. There's new hope.
Yes, the new hope. Let's shout out to Star Wars because a new hope, right? Dude,
That's every year.
happy
The New York Jets.
Friday. Happy
Yes.
Friday. Snowball,
Yeah.
long week.
Mm,
I got cleared.
yeah.
Supposedly Monday, I'm ready to rock and roll, go back to what I was doing before, but there are some little bit of caution, right? There's tape that needs to be put around because I just can't go all the way. I can't go buck wild is what they're trying to say.
You need plastic wrap.
Yes.
All right.
But
Okay.
it's Friday. We got paid.
Yes.
Well, we're still broke, baby, because we got bills to pay. Snowball,
Yeah.
how was your week?
Oh, the children were in rare form this week. Let me tell you. And if parents of my kids are watching, I apologize in advance. But you know what? It's less about teaching nowadays and more about just childcare and character development and discipline. So I appreciate the teaching moments. I do, but it's basically trying to herd kittens.
So what I heard from that is
I'm ready for
parents,
Friday.
but I can't say it because like I respect
Yeah.
your work, So
Yeah.
I'll keep it PG-3
Yes, please.
if you get what I'm trying to say, right? That's
Mhm. Yeah.
thing.
If you
Hey,
have kids, if you have small children, I urge you, please, be consistent and be disciplined and be consistent and follow through. That's all. That's all I ask.
100%.
That's all I ask. Yes.
Well, we got a big guest going on tonight. First and foremost, thank you to everybody watching the show. Please hit the like button, hit the sub. Come on over if you're watching it on our platform, on our guest platform, Jets Worldwide, all one word, and show us some love over here. Give a quick shout out to everybody that's in the building. We got Afram, we got my guy, Mr. Phil, we got Pops, Hop on Pops, which I think he'll be on tomorrow if I'm not mistaken. We got DNY for life. What's going on, brother? My fellow VA, right? And the Wetball Queen's in the building. But
energy.
with that being said itself, you want to bring him in so we can get ready to rock and roll?
I'll bring him in. Do you want to intro him first, or he doesn't need an introduction? Everybody knows him.
He needs an intro. He needs an intro, man. He is the digital reporter for Heavy on Jets or heavydigital.com, depending upon what you guys want to say, right? Just, it is what it is. He does a really good show with another guy that I like, the man-child, Jim Lurch over there. The Man-Child Show with Boy Green Digital. Go check them boys out too. Doing really, really great work. Boy Green meets Woody every Tuesday, every Thursday. But then the staple, the flagship, the one that at 7:30 you're having your cup of coffee, your cup of joe, whatever you're doing in the morning. Boy Green Daily every day at 7:30. This man is consistent. This guy was having a kid and was literally inside the hospital room, still doing the show. It was the most weirdest thing I've ever seen with a flashlight. It looked like he had his little phone set up. I don't know what he was doing, but it occurred and it happened. Let's go ahead and bring him on. Our guy, Paul Boy Green Esden Jr., our guy, BG.
Welcome.
Yeah, boys, I'll tell you, you bring up that hospital story. So, dads are the ones that suffer. We all know, on those very uncomfortable couch bed things. And it's the middle of the night and I'm awoken. The lights are all on. I'm like, what the hell? And I roll over and they're giving my fiance an epidural. And I made eye contact. The doctor made eye contact. And I'm like, oh! And I book it to the bathroom. Like I thought I was going to be sick. And I thought I was going to pass out. So that was absolutely disgusting. But thank God she's a trooper. That made me a little queasy. Hey, doc, give me a heads up next time that you're doing that. And we made eye contact. It was very awkward, very strange. She's a real trooper. And now we have two beautiful children. Spoiler alert. So it worked out. But thank you for the beautiful introduction, boys. Yeah.
Hey,
it's great to be here.
BG, I think every husband that's been in that room and that's seen that happen has an epidural story. Because real quick with mine, my wife, they have to get them on the side, right? And then they're like, they're like, hey, can you hold her? And I'm like, hold her? I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh, because we have to put this needle, and if we miss, right, we could potentially mess her up and paralyze her for the rest of her life.
That's what they tell you. It's unbelievable.
I'm like, what? I'm like, oh shit. Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me know that I have literally the life of my wife right in my hand at the current moment, dude. And my wife is shaking because she's so cold. She can't have any kind of food. None of these things is going on, so she's shivering, and I'm like, hey. It's the fourth quarter, 20 seconds left. We need to get this shit because that's where my brain goes into, right? We need that fucking Hail Mary right now. Get it done. So,
welcome to Jets Worldwide, where we talk about childbirth.
There we go. We cover a lot of subject matter on this show.
A to Z. Let's talk about football because,
I definitely think we should talk about some football because there's a big game going on tonight.
Yes.
Right? Mm-hmm. You got two of the potential quarterbacks that everybody in Jets Nation has been fighting about. Do you want Dante Moore from the Oregon Ducks, or are you wanting the Hoosier of Indiana, the Fernando Mendoza? I still don't know what kind of nickname to give this guy. The Cuban Missile Crisis, some people are saying. I don't know. That sounds kind of crazy, but it's a lot. And then insert Ty Simpson. He's like, oh, you know what? Guess what, guys? I'm joining the draft too, which is good for us. I do declare.
I do declare.
But with that being said, let's get into it, right? Tonight's episode is about the future. And these guys might be the future.
The biggest position that we need to work on is quarterback. So, it is a big question. And I find that Jets universe is split in 17,000 different directions. Mm-hmm. Some people want to draft high. Some people want to trade back. Some people want Mendoza. Some people want Moore. Some people want Simpson. Some people don't know what they want. So, we're here to help you sort through your thoughts and come to a conclusion that will come sooner or later.
BG might be sleeping on the couch tonight, so shout out to the wifey in the building.
Yeah. Streaming the show to all my channels was a terrible immediate decision. So that's well, thanks, boys. I appreciate it. Jets Worldwide. Thanks. God bless. See you.
You're very, very welcome. Oh, by the way, if you are watching this either on Jets Worldwide or on one of Paul's channels, we want to remind you after the show, or if you're like being mobile and you're on your phone and you want to hop over to @Jets Worldwide on YouTube and just hit that like button and then hit that subscribe button. That would be fantastic. I know a lot of people say it just in passing, hit the like, hit the subscribe, but truly genuinely, Johnny and I and Paul, every time you like hit the like and hit the subscribe, it really does help us out a lot. So a 2-second action can has the butterfly effect. So thank you so much for joining us and watching the show this evening. So let's continue the conversation with the quarterback position. We have 3 prospects. Well, 3. We have 2 that declared. Moore has not declared yet, right?
Correct.
He is not.
He is still in waiting. So, and everyone waits with bated breath as we watch this game this evening to see. Do you think he's waiting on this game to see if he should or shouldn't?
Look,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, we got 2 deadlines. So we have one on January 14th. That's the early deadline. So if Dante Moore was to be eliminated tonight, of course, we are in the middle of the college football playoffs, a single elimination. Mm-hmm. If he would be eliminated tonight, his decision would come by January 14th. If Oregon beats Indiana, I think Indiana is like a 3.5-point favorite tonight. If Oregon was able to beat Indiana, they go to the national championship, and that deadline gets extended out to the 23rd. So all of us Jet fans would be on pins and needles waiting this Dante Moore decision even longer from that standpoint. So, yeah, I think it only helps. I imagine if he declared one way or another, it would be a distraction, although if he chose to stay, maybe they would rally the troops, and Oregon's like, yeah, that's our guy. That's my duck. Duck, quack, quack, quack. Do some Mighty Ducks thing, maybe. I don't know if they do that. But so maybe that would rally him. But besides that, I'd imagine it'd be a tremendous distraction if he came out and said in the middle of all this, actually, I'm out of here, suckers. So whatever we do, it doesn't matter. I'm out. So it makes sense for him to wait till after. But again, I don't want to jump. I don't know what the topic list is tonight, but I don't want to jump the gun. I just think it would be crazy to go back, to be honest with you, with $50 million on the line, which again is what he is projected to get guaranteed if he's the number 2 overall pick to the Jets. There's no funny business. There's certain contracts where like, oh, well, what do the fine details say? When you're a rookie, we're talking about fully guaranteed deals, especially in the first round, obviously. Yeah, so 50 million reasons why Dante Moore should enter, regardless of the Jets.
And if you guys are watching the game, Indiana just scored.
Oh, yeah, Dante Moore threw a pick 6. Not good. Not good.
As we're talking about his name right now.
Hey, yeah, thanks, Dante. Yep.
Let's get into this. Let's take a look at these.
Can you add an interception actually right here, Snowball? I think we need to add 10.
That'd be nice if I could put that into the graphic. But yeah, the interception ticker has just gone up.
Not ideal.
All right. Well, listen, that's now 10 interceptions, but hey, talk about needing, updated graphics every 2 seconds.
The first 11 seconds. Yikes. How long did this graphic survive? That's
Dude,
terrible.
Not even 20 minutes, bro. Like not even 20 minutes. So
sorry, Dante.
If Dano is watching this show right now, which he is probably just threw his remote control to the TV and broke it or something right now.
Hey,
yeah.
I will make a random Jets reference that some people remember, and it's funny, it all works out rookie-wise. Sam Darnold, as a rookie, played in Detroit on Monday Night Football, and his first throw was a pick 6. And I was at a restaurant. I was in full Jet gear. I'm like, man, Sammy, this is my guy. And so many people laughed when that happened. And I just went, what are the chances? You've got to be freaking kidding me. And he got it out of the way and then had this exciting game. And the Jets put up a bunch of points. And Joe Douglas was hugging some Darnold parents in the bowels of the stadium. So, maybe he just got it out of the way. So we can only hope.
And the defense went off in that game like tremendously. Right? And I remember after the game, they were interviewing Darren Lee. And they said to Darren Lee, they're like, hey, Darren, like you had a tremendous game. What? And he's like, it's almost like we had their playbook. Everyone's like, did they really have their playbook?
Yeah, right. Did they? Yeah.
Right.
So let's get into it, right?
All right.
The top 3 right now are Fernando Mendoza, Dante Moore, Ty Simpson. Now, Mendoza, out of all of them, is the tallest one. He's 6'5".
Yep.
The heaviest one, 36'6", right, for Mendoza, meaning 36 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
That is currently accurate, yes.
Correct. And he has this trophy.
He does. He has a Heisman. He's your Heisman right there, right?
Heisman Mendoza. Yep.
Heisman Mendoza.
Yeah.
Then you got Moore, 6'3", 206, thrown 28 touchdowns, and 10 interceptions. Please, the
Yeah,
graphic
right.
had to
Fresh.
get right
People in the
now.
back. People in the back.
Maybe
10.
I can. I don't want to start up Photoshop on the computer because I'm going to crash it. But
Right.
And then you got Ty Simpson, 6'2",
Yes.
208, 28 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. You see this, right? Without knowing all of the accolades in regards to what these quarterbacks has completed during their collegiate seasons and everything in regards to them, just seeing this, who would you want and why?
I mean, for me, out of all three quarterbacks, I've seen the most of Mendoza this season. I've seen maybe 5 or 6 games, and then this is like 6 or 7 tonight. So I've seen the most of Mendoza. And again, the thing I love about him is just there's a clutch factor, there's an it factor. You know, of course, one of the highest men putting up numbers and leading college football on touchdown passes. There's a lot of that, but the moxie of when his team needs it the most, when we boil it all down, he just seems to have that clutch. You look under the hood of that car, there's a clutch. There's a clutch in there, and that's what excites me about Fernando, and that's why he's my favorite of the group.
Right? He reminds me of Matty Ice. Ice in his veins.
What a great comp too. Yeah, 100%. There is Matty Ice there.
Yep. Talking about Matty Ice, I don't know if you guys saw, but they reached out to him to come be a potential like consultant or something to the Atlanta
like
Falcons
basically
itself.
the director of football operations, basically. So he'll be the overseer. He'll be the final say on all kinds of things. So yeah, they're bringing him in to help turn around their football program. Rich McKay, who's been there for like 30 years, they asked him to step away from football. And Arthur Blank has like a million other businesses, like all these rich white guys. And so Rich McKay is just going to be handling some of those, basically. So now Matt Ryan's going to step in and lead the football operation.
So BG, this is what I hear, right? This is the knock on Fernando, that he is a system quarterback, right? He fits on what the coach is wanting to do over there. He didn't do this when he was in Cal, right? But it's because of what he's currently doing with the Hoosiers itself. Do you buy into any of that conversation, or do you think it's just old noise?
Well, I did get a game of him at Cal. Cal played Syracuse, their longtime ACC rival, and I'm laying that on very thickly as California and Syracuse on opposite ends of the United States of America should not be rivals, but that's a different conference realignment question for a different day, perhaps. But so I got to see Fernando there, and I was totally unimpressed or underwhelmed or whatever the word you want to say. Like, I was just like, Cal, who the hell is Cal? Like, Cal football? Come on, man. And not this century, outside of some Aaron Rodgers and Jared Goff moments. So I was unimpressed. And again, that's one random game, but just one game that I remember seeing it live in the moment and going back to it. And I was sort of unimpressed. But the fact of the matter is that the thing that you got to love about Fernando for me is experience. When you look at history and data, and that will compare us to some of these other quarterbacks in the group here, of when you get quarterbacks that have under 20 starts in college, it's really hard to judge what they are and what they bring to the table. And that's the same for Ty Simpson. That's the same for Dante Moore, where there's just a lot of unknown. Is it one really good season? Because we've seen that from guys like Zach Wilson in college and other quarterbacks where we're sort of fooled. We think they're this, but they're really that. And that's the concern when you have limited sample size. So we have a bigger sample size with Fernando. And while it's not all spectacular, it's hard not to see this season with the talent he has around him and everything. And why is the system quarterback a bad thing necessarily? Okay, then let's try to replicate what Fernando is obviously doing successful at Indiana and try to bring it to the NFL level. They say Tom Brady was a system quarterback. That sort of worked out. So
yeah. Exactly, BG. So like when people say, oh, it's the system itself, what's so bad about that? I feel like any of these quarterbacks that come to the New York Jets are going to have a one-up on a Oakland Raiders offensive line that is horrible itself, but you got the Jets that have a line that stayed pretty healthy itself through the whole year. It looks like they're going to sign back some of the guys that they already took care of Myers, right? So you got Membu, you got Tip, and then you have already Olu. The one
Yep.
person is Simpson, and it looks like he's going to come back with us as well. So why would you not want to go to a team that already has that in place for you? I just don't understand the whole system question.
Aren't NFL teams at the root systems? Like, they do run systems in themselves. You're looking for like a guy who can, I don't know, improvise and work on, work out of the pocket, whatever. That for me, that's kind of like what I want to see this evening, right? For Fernando Mendoza is if the pocket collapses, if there is, something that goes out of whack, and can he maneuver through a dirty pocket? Can he make the throw when he needs to? He's done it in clutch situations, but can he do it on a regular basis? And that's kind of like what I'm looking for. The system thing, I agree with you, Johnny, and I agree with you, Paul, right? The system is the system. And if you can develop a system, it actually benefits your team and you do a lot better. So,
Yeah, Snowball, you actually said exactly what I would have followed up and said is like, every team has an instruction manual. Well, they're supposed to. I don't know what the Jets have been doing the last couple of years, but you're supposed to have like an instruction manual of here are the principles of our system. Let's just call it what it is. Every team has a system. Here's the principles of our system. Here are progressions. Here is how we're going to do it. In this system, you don't have to play hero ball. You could run the football and do this and this and this and this. You don't have to save the day. Like every team in the NFL has a system. And we're going to dock a guy. We're going to minus points on a guy, 10 points away from Gryffindor because he follows the instructions and what he's supposed to do very well.
Right.
That's a red flag. He's following it a little too tightly, maybe too tightly. And you're like, what? Like when you really take a step back from that criticism, it sounds ridiculous. So
it does.
Yeah, that 100%. Snowball, you nailed it, and that's really it to me. Every team has a system. You want your guy to follow the system, and again, to your point, okay, the question outside of system is out of structure, right? So like Captain Zach Wilson here, the out of structure stuff where you're like, oh, this is the Patrick Mahomes crazy shit. Well, before we get to the Patrick Mahomes crazy shit, can we do the fundamentals? Can we do the basics? Can he run the system? Yeah. Oh, check. Cool. And then if we can extrapolate from that and they start doing it, they get more confident and they get more daring. They say, I got an arm. I think I could do some extra stuff outside the system. Then so be it. Once you figure out square peg, square hole, like, okay, we've accomplished the bare basics. Now we can, evolutionize the offense and go to different places.
Yeah. I mean, football is men, right? And what do men do with instructions?
Yeah.
We throw them away.
Damn, Skippy.
You know what?
Yeah.
We can do it. But I want the guy who can follow the directions.
Yeah.
So I got Coach ask you a question real quick. BG.
Coach. All right, Coach.
So
sure.
Coach Olbrich, if you know. But did Mendoza learn and then master the system? Can he translate those skills to the NFL? Your thoughts on that, BG?
Well, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. He's won the Heisman Trophy. Again, we talked about their path so far in the college football playoff. They're a game away from the national championship. So far, I don't know how you could reach any other conclusion than he's learned to master the system is such a, what's the way to put this? It's such a commanding, like emphatic, like master seems like you can't perfect anything else. So that's probably a little aggressive because it's not like Fernando Mendoza has 36 touchdowns and 0 picks. So he's made mistakes. And again, interceptions aren't always on quarterbacks. It's a whole nother conversation for a different day. But no, so I don't know if I would say master, that might be too aggressive. That may be too hyperbolic in terms of saying that. But for the most part, though, it's obviously worked out very well. In terms of results-oriented business wins, individual statistics. So he's checked off a lot of those boxes. The question, can he translate those skills to the NFL? If any of us could answer that question, Jets Worldwide would be over and we'd be working for billion-dollar organizations. So that is projections on whether or not we believe or don't believe that he can translate those skills to the NFL. I think you can. Like when we're talking about, again, to me, the greatest quality he has that you want to, what's the thing with the player that you're evaluating? You're like, this is the thing that I'm going to pound the table for. And to me, it's the clutch thing. No matter what the situation, who the opponent, what's been going on, how far they are, he just has seemingly found a way every time. And that just, to me, if I was a teammate on that offense, I'm like, he has shown me he can do this. I believe. Let's go to the Stranger Things ending. I believe. I believe. I believe. And then everyone believes, and that confidence, and then obviously the actual skills to deliver, I think is infectious to his teammates.
Well, do you believe there's an episode 9 of Stranger Things, or is that all made up?
I thought it comes out after the college football playoff game tonight. Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay, great.
But I agree with you. I agree with you. The biggest thing that I like about Mendoza is his brain that he has. I mean,
yeah, sure. Bulging. Yeah.
Like coach says, can Mendoza read a defense and adjust at the line? You've seen it, right? He's messed up many of times, bro. And 6 times, just like you said it before, but he's come right back and it's taken him down the field itself. You know, is it the system? Hey, if the system is working, why try to change it and why try to break it? So, like, right. I never understood that. Bro, if my running game is working and every time I'm feeding my guy and he's running for 10 yards, I'm going to keep doing that because at the end of the day, and what I like about Mendoza, every single time he has an interview, he talks about, hey, shout out to, you know, big man up there, but I couldn't have done this without my teammates. He's never makes it about himself, you know, and he has an arm too at that. So is he a little bit more of a pocket individual? I probably, right? But
yeah, I think he has underrated mobility, I would say. When there's been green grass, he has taken it. Again, no one's ever going to mistake him for Michael Vick. But the mobility I've really liked this year, again, I don't think he's ever going to be leading the Jets in rushing if he becomes a Jet. But I think he has enough mobility. He's got this big ass, as you can see, lanky body, this Gumby-looking bastard out there, 6'5", 225, a little awkward almost with his giraffe-like nature. But he just finds a way to get it done, again, which sort of goes back to the original conversation. So that part, I like the mobility from Fernando. There's enough there.
So it's a Jets Worldwide exclusive. Listen, we now endorse the system quarterback.
There you go.
Do we endorse the system quarterback?
I do. Yes, I do. I've always liked it. When people have been like, no, you know, he's not. What? Shit. I would have paid to have a Tom Brady type of quarterback with the New York Jets that worked within the system. Dude, that dude was the check down king. Shit. Yeah. If it's working, keep going.
We need the other part of it, though. That's the thing. You need the other part of it. In order to be in a system and to be a system quarterback, you have to have the system. So we'll see what happens with that next season. I do believe that the title of the Jets season next year is going to be Stranger Things. So, you know, okay, we'll see what happens.
One quick correction, Snowball. Let me.
Can we?
29.
Okay, perfect. Nice.
So let's get into it then. Dante Moore.
I could draw on this.
Yeah, that would be cool, like a sort of a telestrator, right, Matt? Okay, if you're turducken in the alleys and that'd be great if you guys can add that to the budget.
And everybody, so all 3 of us are watching this game as we're streaming live right now. Just to let you guys know. So if you're seeing our heads, like one's looking that way, BG's looking that way, Snowball's looking down. Mm-hmm. There's a reason why behind it. But I have to say that I'm very impressed with Dante Moore. I actually am one of the individuals that like more than Mendoza itself because
more.
You know,
sell me on it. Why? Give it to me.
I think you just showed it. Threw a pick 6, came back, drove down the field. You know that. But his biggest knock, and this is what I wanted to ask you, BG.
Sure,
right?
Yeah.
His biggest knock, he does not have enough tape on him. He's only played a certain amount of games, and that is it. And you don't know what you have on him. Do you think that's something that's valid, or are you on the whole? If you're good, and you're gonna be. It's not like these guys have not been playing ball since they were young, you know. And he's playing at a really good school in Oregon. So, and I love the type of offense that they run over there. So, BG, your thoughts on that?
Yeah, there is obviously a very limited sample size for a start. And Rich Cimini has brought up these statistics before, so we can highlight them again. But quarterbacks that have limited experience in college those quarterbacks have struggled to have success in the NFL level on the majority. Of course, there's always outliers, of course. But for the most part, those quarterbacks have struggled when they've gotten opportunities. So it is legitimate. It is real. But that isn't necessarily a definite. To me, and this could be a development question, more about this future episode we're doing here. Again, Jets Worldwide, wide. Get these bastards to 500 subscribers, for God's sake. So make sure you guys like the video if you guys are watching right now. Hit that subscribe button. Help these boys get there. Again, if you're watching on my YouTube channel, @BoyGreen25, appreciate it. Make sure at Jets Worldwide, we are cross-streaming this. So this is a Jets Worldwide production. But we are streaming live on Boy Green's YouTube channel as well. And if you go in the YouTube description down below, there's actually a hyperlink that will jump you automatically over to the Jets Worldwide channel. It makes it even easier than ever to subscribe to their channel. So make sure you guys do so. Yeah, to me, I think those are legitimate statistics, but it's not necessarily a death nail like it's over. Because in my perfect world for quarterback development, Dante or Fernando, whoever is the guy, I hope they don't play. If not at all this season, not until later, because we have shoved so many quarterbacks out there and they have failed. Now, could a rookie quarterback, come in and start immediately for the Jets and beat out whatever veterans we bring in? Sure, that's possible. And with what our offense is, it wouldn't be the worst rookie situation. It wouldn't be Zach Wilson. It wouldn't be Sam Darnold. I like our offensive line. Again, we got to figure out, are they keeping John Simpson or AVT? Are they going to go chase a big name center and then Josh Myers isn't the guy? He's a guy. I'd feel much better with him as my sixth man off the bench, to be honest with you, if I could. Maybe we can get that. Maybe we can't. So there's still some alterations that have to happen to this offense, of course. A guy opposite of Garrett. I like the tight end room. What are we doing with Brees? So there's still more questions to have. But if a rookie was to go out there, I feel good about the supporting cast that's there. But still, I'd prefer that they ride the bench. So go back to the start thing. Like, geez, not a lot of tape here for Dante. Geez, not a lot of tape here for Ty, who we'll get to later. The thing I like is that they're not going to be forced out there immediately, or they shouldn't be anyway. That should be the plan if I'm the Jets. And we go back to, the system. And shout out to Hop on Pop for subscribing to Jets Worldwide. Thank you. Okay. Thought you were already a subscriber, but okay. Better late than never, I suppose. So welcome.
We did before the stream.
Oh, I see. Welcome to the show, baby. But the other thing I would just sort of add to this puzzle is we're all saying, system quarterback. Well, here's what the Jets need. We need the quarterback and the system. Both are missing pieces to this puzzle. And hopefully AG is doing a good job here of finding the right guys on offense. And that's what I'm hoping for, because it sounds like the criticisms we've had, like, Charles Leonard, get the hell that guy out of here. By all reports, that sounds like what he's going to do. But who does he replace him with? So we need to improve on the system part and then the quarterback part. Those are two key pieces of that puzzle.
So, BG, let me ask you this then, right?
Yes, sure.
So, again, the knock on Moore is that he doesn't have a lot on tape. He hasn't been a quarterback that long, whatever. If I'm being honest and I'm a coach, right, I kind of like that. Why? Okay. I like that because I see the talent that this kid has.
Yep.
Right? Kid has a strong arm. He's mobile. Mm-hmm. He hasn't been tarnished by some of the bad things that college players do that will not translate into the NFL.
Okay.
That I could teach him but you hit it right on the right system, and sorry guys that we're using the system word tonight, because I feel like we've said system about 100 times already. So
drink.
Yeah, exactly. Right. But do you think like some coaches think like that, right? That, you know what? I could mold this guy. He's not going to start off the rip, because I'm on board with you. I do not want him to start, whoever the quarterback is. Give him time, let him develop him the right way. Just don't throw him into the fire. And what I mean by the fire is all the insane Jets media, Jets Nation fan base, everything, because the lights are a lot brighter in New York. But what's your take on that? Like, what do you think about flipping it that way?
Yeah, I would also, again, just add this. We've got so many resources that there is no excuse for the Jets to roll out, again, for tonight's example, Mendoza, Brady, Cook, and Tyrod. There's no way that should be the quarterback room, with all due respect.
I agree.
The Jets have trade assets, they have draft picks, they've got money. If they want, again, we're gonna debate about this for the next 3 months. Jacoby Brissett, Kyler Murray, Kirk Cousins, Mac Jones, Malik Willis, whoever these guys are, we can all debate, but the Jets should be able to bring in a quote-unquote legitimate guy, a guy that's either started games before, has a ton of upside. I probably prefer someone with legitimate experience versus upside. We tried the upside thing with Justin Fields, and that didn't work. Not that can't work, but I'd probably pick a guy like Kirk Cousins. So there is just a floor with Kirk Cousins that you feel pretty good about if he was a guy in there, and I would insulate the position. So I don't often say, oh, let's copy whatever the hell the New York Giants are doing. I haven't said that often in the last 15 years. But I loved the Jameis Winston, Russell Wilson thing in theory. And then you draft Jackson Dart, he's QB3. He is so behind there. One of the problems that the Jets effed up this, and sorry for the flashbacks, the trigger warning here, Jet fans, but in 2023, the Jets said, all right, Aaron Rodgers, you're the guy. Zach Wilson, read a book. These are the things they told him. Read a book,
Yes.
go to a beach, all these things. These are legitimate things the coaching staff said. And don't worry, watch greatness, buddy. Osmosis. We'll see you. We'll see you at the end of the year, buddy. Hopefully you marinated some of that. 4 snaps later, Zach Wilson's in the game. So the Jets totally effed it all up that on 1 week they told us, oh, Zach, you're resting the whole year. 4 snaps later, you know what, Zach? You're ready, pal. Hopefully you learned it. You're like, what? And then he gets thrown out there.
It worked temporarily.
We did. We won that Buffalo game.
4 snaps, and he won. So, but then it wore off immediately. Getting back to Dante Moore just for a second, and talking about the bridge quarterbacks that we could bring in. An interesting scenario could possibly be Marcus Mariota, a former Duck. Working with the Duck. So the quack for real on the Jets. Who knows? Might be a good mentor to Dante Moore if we do draft him. So I like the connection and the respect and the tutelage. So I'm a big fan. I don't know about I like the Cousins idea also. I think that's a listen at this point.
Anybody's better than what we got.
Right. I mean, we can't throw rocks from glass houses over here. Right.
We are scrapping. I mean, are you both in favor of scrapping the entire quarterback room? Like, scrub it, right?
I'm not
like
only in favor. TNT,
ammonia,
blow the room up. I mean, honestly, all of them. Because Justin Fields is a drama queen that quit on his team. Tyrod Taylor just can't stay healthy. I like the guy. I haven't met him, but from what everyone says about him, he seems like a world-class guy. So if I was doing a charity, I'd invite him to it. But I'm trying to run a football team here. So Tyrod, you're out. And then Brady Cook, again, seems like a good kid, but good Lord. I mean, awful. So
we've seen
can he be on the 90-man roster? I guess going into training camp, be like your QB4 or something. But I'm not relying on anything from Brady Cook. So to me,
I'm watching. I look at the statistics for Brady Cook and like 4 point anything per yards per attempt.
Yeah, not good.
Is like piss poor. So like we don't even want to I don't even want him to serve water in the locker room. Like, goodbye. See you later. You lose. Good day, sir. Right out you go. So not a fan at all.
To your Mariota point, real quick though, I would say. For the majority of Mariota's career, I've been like, you know what, 100% Snowball. He was raised in this Polynesian family, so respect, and there's a lot of that. They told that in his pre-draft stories about how important that kind of stuff is to his life and respect and all that stuff, and that was great. And again, he had his run with Tennessee, then he bounced around as a veteran quarterback, and he's put up fine numbers. He still has some wheels and all those kind of things. And again, professional quarterback, and I mean that as a compliment, not an insult, that just at point A to point B, he seems to be a good guy. The only, red flag, and, we've all had red flags in our life, so this is probably inherently unfair, but how the Falcons thing went, where he was the starter for a majority of the season, the Falcons decide to go to Desmond Ridder under Arthur Smith, and Mariota seemingly quit on the team and then got surgery when they didn't want him to, and he just sort of disappeared, and they were like, what? And then he went back. That was a bizarre outlier to what his career is. And then he left and immediately was back to Mariota respect and everything. So we're all allowed to have blips on the radar, of course. But to your point, I love everything else outside of that blip, which again, I've had a million blips on my radar of mistakes and things I've made. So maybe we shouldn't just write that off, but that's something at least to highlight in the conversation.
Yeah.
And we need to change the Mendoza graphic
Yes.
to 37.
30.
Boom.
Is it 37? The 38?
Nope,
37 because of the pick six.
Oh, 37, right. Sorry.
Right.
So we have a question for you, BG, from our guy Afram. He doesn't watch college football much, but has more progressed or regressed during his time since he's been a quarterback.
That's a great question. And unfortunately, like the Jets did a lot this season, I'm going to have to punt. Not nearly as good as Austin McNamara, I'm afraid. But Dante Moore is a quarterback. Him and I've seen a little bit more of Dante Moore than I've seen of Ty Simpson. But I don't feel confident enough. Again, he had a partial season at UCLA before he came to Oregon. I don't feel confident enough to say either way, good or bad. Like, obviously, he's at this point, so there's obviously been some natural development and evolution that put him in a conversation where they're in the middle of the college football playoff and he could be a bona fide top 5 pick in the draft. So there's something to be said for that. But I don't have enough wherewithal or anything to say. So what I would recommend is, and I'm sure you guys are going to have it on this show too, when we bring on the draft experts that do such great work all year long, and I'm going to pepper them and interrogate them with questions. I hope you guys do too in the audience as we bring on guests to really evaluate these things on Dante Moore. Because the thing that concerns me with any of these Oregon quarterbacks, but there are success stories. I mean, Snowball just brought up Mariota. There's Justin Herbert. There's Bo Nix. So there's a lot of successful Oregon quarterbacks. So the thing I say may be silly, but like Dante Moore is a 72% plus completion percentage this year, but like 30% or something of the Oregon offense are screens. So they're lateral extensions of the running game on the screen plays where he's throwing horizontal, and then the player breaks the tackle, goes 80 yards to the house. We're like, sweet, Dante Moore, 80-yard touchdown pass. But is it? So, like, I question some of the high off numbers of like screens and stuff in the Oregon offense. So that part of it, you sort of have to take into account with the statistics that are here on your screen. And that's what I asked Damian Parson. We had Damian on our first Monday mock draft-ish kind of series we'll do every Monday throughout the draft process. But yeah, I need more information, long story short. So all I know is this, and if you're a Jets fan, here's the easiest way to put it. As every new quarterback enters the draft, that is good news for business. And you're going to go like, what? Why is that good news? Well, either value of all their picks increase. Ty Simpson we'll talk about. Their 33rd overall pick increases if he slips to day 2. Possible. Everyone says he's day 1. His dad thinks he's day 1 and everything else from everything they've heard. But sometimes things happen. Geno Smith thought he was day 1, and he was the 39th overall pick. So sometimes quarterbacks slip to day 2, and if they do, that Jets 33rd overall pick, the first pick of the second round, all of a sudden is more valuable. If Dante Moore enters, obviously, if the Jets fall in love with Dante, they could take him. If not, they could trade that pick to somebody else. So that's of more intrigue. So as Chambliss and all these other guys, as the quarterbacks keep entering, that is good news for the Jets, because either they're going to get their quarterback or other teams are going to get quarterbacks and other really good players are going to slip to the Jets. So that is all good news. So if you're a non-college football fan, that's okay. For the Jets fans and draft fans that are sort of experiencing college football for the first time this season when they're hearing about all this draft talk and stuff, hey, know this. Every time you get da-na-na, insert quarterback has entered the draft. Good news for the Jets. Ba-ding!
Yep. Yeah. But BG, wouldn't that be a good thing though with the screens? Because I could tell you right now, pretty much every single quarterback that we've had as a Jets quarterback can't throw a damn screen itself. So that might be a good change, right?
If we're climbing the ladder of success, screens are first rung, right? So yes,
sure, that's a good point.
Good deal.
So and some can say too though, because Mendoza's known for that too. Mendoza will throw like a screen and they're gone. So I don't know. I mean, he more intrigues me, man, because I just like what I've seen from him because I have watched a lot of more Oregon games, and I'm like, man, like even in this last final drive that he came up and you see him going through the progressions and
Of
all of
course.
that, and I'm just like, holy shit! I had Justin Fields couldn't even do that. Justin Fields was just look at Garrett Wilson, look at Garrett Wilson. Nope, I don't know what to do. Dirt the ball,
Run, right.
or run exactly.
Right.
So
And
yeah,
Dante's 20 years of age. So if you're a Jets fan and he's potentially the guy, again, I've heard from draft people that if Dante Moore enters, he could be the first overall pick, and then we get Fernando as we've all been dreaming of. So like any possibility is there. But just to keep it Dante more related for this conversation, to get a 20-year-old that you
exactly.
draft and you could have him for 15 to 20 years, like that's insane because like we have this constant musical chairs at quarterback. So to even think that a guy would be the unquestioned starter just for like a significant period of time in Jets history, unfortunately, is a reality we have not experienced since Chad. Like I'm trying to think of who was a previous quarterback that we're just like obviously like it's not even a question. We're not like quarterback competition. Like it's just clear he's a guy. I would assume it's Chad as I'm thinking of back in my brain of someone who had consistent play, and it would be Chad. The more I think about it. So and then before that was Vinny. So 100%. Like this would just be a refreshing change.
So Sanchez gets no love.
Yeah, I did just pass over Sanchez, didn't I? That was incredibly rude. So shout out to the Sanchez. Yeah, I totally glossed over him. Like, no, like in my head, I start going Bryce Petty, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Brett Favre. Yeah,
Christian
poor
Hackenberg.
It's the
it's
the police record that tarnishes it.
Yeah, the shiv. Yeah, the sha 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 sha.
Hey,
Yeah,
man,
that's what it did it there.
Look, from what I understood, that guy was talking a whole bunch of junk, and Mark said
he probably brought up the butt fumble or something.
Yeah, exactly. He brought the butt fumble, and
Brody,
he said, "West Coast forever, homie. Vatos locals," and straight went blood in, blood out style on this guy. But let's get into now the third quarterback.
Sure.
All right, Ty Simpson.
Mm-hmm.
The biggest knock on this guy, I don't know. Because I do not like Bama. So I truly don't know too much about Ty Simpson, if I'm going to be 100% honest with you guys. But my understanding, out of all three of these quarterbacks that you guys see on the screen, he's the only one that's taken the most snaps off center. What does that mean? Does that translate into the NFL? You see his stats. His stats are not that bad as well, right?
You see his wrists are warm. That's it. His wrists are warm. But other than that, keep going. I'm sorry. I'm just being a jerk.
It's very hard for me to give any kind of love to Alabama quarterbacks just right now. As a Georgia Bulldog fan, I cannot stand. The only Alabama individual that I liked is probably Joe Namath, and that's really about it, But so your thoughts on Ty Simpson, Boy Green? He just had a game. Everybody says that he was essentially the entire offense. He was the one that was literally putting the team on the back of his offense. There's a lot of draft experts that are out there that really like Ty Simpson. But let me get your thoughts on him.
Yeah, so it's a double decker for me. We're about to go back to the college starts thing, and he has 15 college starts, so that's limited.
Yep.
And the weird thing about him is like sometimes you're like, oh, okay, this guy started like 15 games. What is he, 18 years old? What is he, 20? No, Ty Simpson is 23. So, and he spent 4 years at Alabama. So it's a wild sort of eval here. He's an older prospect, but lacks experience. And then again, he's already entered the draft. So he's coming in, and I don't blame him. I don't get why. Like I get on the surface why people say, go back to school, get more experience. But I'm sure he said to himself, whoa. So next year's quarterback class is stronger, and I might not be the same guy I am right now. Yeah, I'm going to enter. So I don't blame Ty Simpson at all for entering, but it does complicate the picture a little bit because is he QB3? And if he's QB3, what does that mean? QB3 does not mean it's going to be Fernando, Dante, then Ty Simpson with the first 3 picks. Just because you're QB3 does not mean you go in said position. So is he a mid-first rounder like people think? Does he fall to day 2? Is he a developmental guy that you'd like, but a developmental guy that's 23 years of age? So it's a little bit of a complicated eval here for him. And then obviously you have the injury status, so you're going to need a medical update on what he's going to bring to the table. And then the Alabama thing, like Jet fans know, we have the high of highs of Joe Namath. Oh, that one worked out. And then we have guys like Greg McElroy, for God's sake. So, it's sort of a big range there on outcomes based on the if you're scouting the helmet versus the player.
Yes. Smallest in stature of the three, least experience of the three.
Yep.
Oldest of the three, I believe.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
So it is a mixed bag for Ty Simpson. Being a teacher, I'm just going to speak from the teaching point of view, right? Age sometimes plays a difference in maturity. I like the prospect of an older quarterback, regardless of the lack of experience at the position. I mean, we've seen, like, I believe he has the most yardage out of all three in passing. So that's a plus on his side. His TD to interception ratio is really nice. So, means he's a smart guy, knows where to put the ball, right? Doesn't take a lot of risks. So that's a plus on his side. Age, size is, for me, size matters, right? And don't take that out of context. Clip that. But anyway, what I'm saying is, right, 6'2" is kind of the cutoff for the NFL quarterback. When you really think about it, like outliers, like, Murray and Wilson, right? Russell Wilson and stuff, Drew Brees, Doug Flutie, like these types of quarterbacks. The thing is that you have to manipulate your line and you have to manipulate your play calling based on the size of your quarterback, right? So you're going to have to draw things up differently for Ty Simpson that you would for Mendoza, right? So it depends on what you want to do, right? How do you want to play the game? How do you want to instill a game plan for these guys? So
different girth there for sure. Different girth. Yeah.
I see what you did there. But yes, I understand what you're saying, right? Girth, whatever, length. Anyway, but the thing is that I'm talking in circles a little bit, but Ty Simpson for me is a very interesting prospect. And you talked about value, Boy Green, about like, is it going to be 1, 2, 3? Is he a second round pick? For me, personally, and this is worth garbage, but what I'm trying to say is he is worth what a team is willing to risk, right? Like, everyone was completely shocked when the Giants took Daniel Jones. They're like, what the hell did they just do? Right. We were shocked. We were shocked when we took Will McDonald. Like, so players are worth what they are to a team. And for me, I don't know about, he's an interesting prospect. Dante Moore, the athleticism intrigues me. And Mendoza just is the prototypical size, stature. And I love the fact that this guy has he has goldfish memory. So, it's fantastic. So I don't know. It's a very tricky situation to pick. And like you said, the more like things that we hear when people enter the draft is like fantastic.
Well, yeah, and I'll just tell you real quick, a feather in the cap. I was reading Jordan Reed's draft profile when Ty Simpson entered the draft. He said one of the things he loves about him is his ability to quickly diagnose coverage, fronts, blitzes, and he was given pre-snap freedom at Alabama, so he could make audibles at the line of scrimmage. He could alter protections, and he could show his advanced understanding of route concepts. So that sort of goes back to an earlier question. Can these quarterbacks go to that level? And I think that's going to intrigue teams, despite the fact of the weird age is high and experience is low. Those kind of, like, I think it's important. So to use that to lead to another, Ty Simpson's pre-draft process is going to be important. For some of these guys, it's more important than others, right? When you're perceived as the top guy, Joe Burrow didn't participate at the combine. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. He knew he was good, so he just could sort of coast. Some of these guys need it. Ty Simpson's a great example. He's someone that's going to need the combine. He's going to need the college all-star events. pro days, all of these opportunities to improve his draft stock in this case where he's vying for QB3 potentially based on other guys and what QB3 means, whether it's mid first, late first, second, or wherever it is. So 100%. Go ahead, Johnny. Sorry.
No, it's, I mean, to all the points that Snowball just stated, everything that I've read was essentially saying he was the offense. Like, he was that dude. He was the guy that literally could go and make audibles. Fernando Mendoza, Dante Moore, you don't see that from.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a big question mark in regard to that. And how does that translate when you go into the NFL itself? I mean, yeah, he's 6'2", and then the age. It's insane that we're talking about this dude is old and he is 23 years old, right? The kid is still young. I have to say that. But I want to give some
little Baker Mayfield moxie to this kid too.
I want to give
Ty Simpson.
I want to give some honorable mentions. Okay.
Okay. Sure.
You got Diego Pavia that's coming in. Carson Beck, which F Carson Beck. Everybody knows how I feel about Carson Beck. So
sorry,
okay.
man.
And then Drew Allar, which to me is the biggest question mark in this draft because on how back you could get him and where he was supposed to go the year before. I'm going to ask you guys this. BG, I've asked you this on your show at Boy Green Daily at 7:30 in the morning.
That is my show.
And this is for you too, Snowball. Would you double dip on quarterbacks? What do I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that we go ahead and do Mendoza or more. Do you get a Drew Allar later on there? Do you get somebody in, because he's potentially 4th or 5th round pick, right? If I'm not mistaken. And we got a whole bunch of 4ths that we have this year in the upcoming draft, if I'm not mistaken. Would you take a shot at that? Would you do the whole Redskins scenario with the RG3 situation and Kirk Cousins? Especially, imagine if we do bring Kirk Cousins to be that vet quarterback that we have. Do you guys take a swing on that?
Well, on the Drew part first, it's the same thing we talked about on Boy Green Daily. Boy Green, 7:30 every morning. Drew Allar, he destroyed his ankle. It was fractured and dislocated, all these other things, which are gross. So what's the recovery timeline on that? As a team, and sorry to bring up these memories if Ricky New York Live is in our audience, but Jordan Travis, we took a guy that had a gruesome injury. We're like, he's going to be fine, and we took it and we got him at a steal in theory as a 5th rounder, JT3, and unfortunately, he was never able to recover from that injury, and he had to medically retire, which is terrible. Now, I'm not wishing that on Drew. All I'm saying is that medical report is going to be critical. That's one of the biggest pieces that people don't realize about the combine. Like, why do we do this combine? Why is everyone wearing their underwear and running all over the place? One of the sneaky things is stuff we don't really see outside of what is the results of what we talk about is the medical exam. You get 200 of the finest college football athletes on the planet that get seen by the same doctors, the Jets doctors, Giants doctors, Raiders doctors. Every team's doctors and physicians are there. And they also have neutral doctors that are just the NFLs, the combine, as you're going through that process. So that's a very critical piece of the puzzle for me. And the thing I would say about that is I need to make sure Drew's good. And if Drew is not good, with every $1 million man, everybody's got a price. So you could take a Drew Allar somewhere in the draft. I'm sure he's got a price, but I sort of don't want to go down that road unless I get a clear medical clearance on that, and then I can make a decision. To the overall point, yes, I would totally be for potentially double dipping and increasing our chances.
I don't know where you guys are in the game, but I just learned that Fernando Mendoza with the dirty pocket is not clean.
Yeah, right. So, yeah. It was unique. I mean, I'll give him credit for the uniqueness of losing the ball, getting it back, and then dancing around again. That was neat. So shout out to Fernando for that.
Right. Yeah. But okay. X for that one. Anyway, I just had a point I was going to make, and then I lost.
Well, we were talking about the double dipping on the
Oh
quarterback.
yeah, the double dipping.
Would you do that?
Yeah, with the amount of holes that the Jets have right now, I believe every draft pick to be a little coin that we need to use. So I'm not sure about double dipping this at this point. I am a fan of this though. I am a fan of taking a quarterback this year, and I am a fan of taking a quarterback next year as well. No matter what happens this year, I believe taking a quarterback each year, especially this year and next, is a big thing for the Jets. I think we could use that. I'm really sure. And even if we do hit it, with a quarterback, say, we bench him until week 7 or 8, and then he comes in and he looks really promising at the end of the year, I still say go next year. Still, same thing. Get somebody else.
What are we going to have? Too many good ones like that?
Right.
Okay, that's something I'm for. I would tell you the thing I'm vehemently against. It got brought up on the morning show. I think Bob even brought it up, or Bobby Jr. or Bobby Jr. Somebody brought it up for sure on the program, and it was, hey, what about Dante Moore than Ty Simpson? Either with the other first round pick or the second round pick. I'm like, whoa, what are we doing here? Like, folks, what kind of luxury do you think we have here? The Jets have a cajillion needs. And the cool silver lining about sucking as bad as we did is we organically have the number 2 overall pick. And if Dante comes out, as I would think he would, but we'll see what happens with the news, then the Jets are going to be able to get their quarterback organically, and they can use the picks that they would have had to use in a massive trade-up scenario to fill a variety of holes on the roster. So am I open to double dipping like Dante at 2 and then a 5th round or something on quarterback? Sure, I guess. I'm totally open to snowballs where you draft this year and then draft next year, of course. But 2 primo picks? Absolutely not. And while I want to get quarterback right, and that would obviously increase your chances, we just have too many other needs. That would be absolutely pissing away our resources.
100%. So it's look, man, if I'm being honest with you, and this ties it all in together.
I appreciate you being honest with us.
We fucking need to have the right system in place for these individuals that are coming in, because we've seen that we've destroyed quarterbacks that has come here and then have gone somewhere else, and they've gone ahead and have had a success, and it sucks. Some people have even made it like as a meme now that the New York Jets are essentially what is it, quarterback a QB factory. You get them in here, right? You break them down, they go somewhere else, and they're the quarterback that they were supposed to.
We break the horse. That's it.
Yeah. I've said it for years that we break quarterbacks. We break them, and I put out a short on YouTube and TikTok this morning about Sylvester Stallone. He's yelling and he's like, "I'm afraid. You want to break me down? I'm afraid." And I was like, it was about Fernando Mendoza possibly getting drafted by the Jets. So
oh my,
it's not, in my opinion, the most favorable place for a prospect to come, but it is one of 32 teams in the NFL to play football for. So it is an honor to play in the National Football League. It's an honor to be on a team. So take it the way you want it, but you go where you go. If you're going high, you're going to a sucky team. So sorry, folks.
Hey, Dante Moore right now is looking like a quarterback for the New York Jets.
There is no question about it. Just a different shade of green. Some of the pick six, play action play and accidentally hitting his running back and it fumbles and goes immediately to Indiana. Yeah, it's not looking good for Dante. So that's not good. Hopefully, he's setting us up for the comeback. We can only hope because this is
not his fault. He didn't see that running back coming.
No, of course not.
I have to say that from what I've been seeing on both of these QBs so far, they're poised, man. Like they're poised. I mean, the defenses that they're going against are not some slouches either. So they're going against really good defenses, and which is a good thing, is what you want to see. One
game does not make a career. Right?
Exactly.
You have to look at the overall statistics of each of these quarterbacks, independently. So, he might have a crappy game tonight. He made listen, that last play wasn't his fault. Like, running back came too close. He was taking his arm back. Maybe you want to criticize his arm motion. You know, he's got too wide of an arm motion when he brings the ball back, but it is what it is. You know, I don't know. I'm all in favor of, again, look at the overall statistics first.
So now I want to ask you this, and this was brought on the show in the morning, and it went wild.
Yeah, Boy Green Daily New York Jets video show. Boy Green.
So
Daily. Yep.
You get this guy in Todd McShay that is throwing a whole bunch of shade to the New York Jets. But just a few years ago, right, he was buddy with JD, right? And
that's accurate, yes.
Talking, oh man, it'd be awesome to be a New York Jet, man. Them guys over there know what they have, they know what they're doing, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden, man, I would tell my son not to go over there, blah, blah, blah. Yes. So now you got people that are coming out and saying that Dante Moore might not declare because he doesn't want to become a New York Jet or insert quarterback. Now, with that narrative that is being put out there, do you believe it? Or do you think it's a lot of just made up bull crap just to get more clicks? BG?
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. I mean, you know, sorry about your bull crap. I'm going to take it. I'm going to raise you a level here. King me. It's absolute utter nonsense. I guess it's just sexier to dunk on the Jets than the Arizona Cardinals, who have like 3 fans. Sorry for the random, shot. If a Cardinals fan just like, oh, what's Jets Worldwide all about? And they just tuned in for that 3 seconds. I'm sorry. But maybe it's just like we just matter more, even though we don't with all our losing. And then we're just a popular punching bag. It's funny to make fun of the Jets because the Raiders, you could argue, and Raiders fans are not going to get shots, but they're in front of us and they're expected to take a quarterback in the draft. You could argue they're as dysfunctional or worse than the New York Jets. They don't have a playoff win in 23 years. The Jets have been to 2 AFC championship games over that same period of time. We've won 6 playoff games since like the last time they won 1. So playoff success. Quarterbacks, both of our quarterbacks have stunk. Their last first-round quarterback was DeMarcus Russell. Not only is he considered one of the biggest busts in Raiders franchise history, he's one of the biggest busts in NFL history, Mr. Purple Drank himself. So, the quarterback development, terrible. Their turnover, they've had 6 head coaches in 6 years. You think that's a joke? That includes interims, of course, but they have 6 head coaches over the last 6 years, the last 2 of which have been one and done. So there's organizational malpractice. There's organizational inconsistency. Their offensive line is dumb. I don't understand why. Okay, if you're going to make fun of the Jets, I would respect Todd and some of these other guys a little bit more if they're also saying, I'd avoid the Raiders. I would just avoid the National Football League and I'd pick a different sport. I would respect them a little bit more if they painted beyond the lines. But just to say, oh boy, the Jets, do you know that historically they've been terrible? Yeah, thanks, Todd. Yeah, appreciate it, buddy. I don't know, Todd. I'm not sure. But the fact of the matter is, it's super annoying. It pissed me off. It infuriated me. I don't normally have those rants anymore. I'm just too old now, I guess, of where I'm just screaming at the top of my lungs at the beginning of a Boy Green Daily show. But it just bothered me that, we pretend like the Jets are the only bad team in football. They are bad, obviously. We all know on this show. We have shows about this godforsaken team, and they've been terrible. I'm not saying they're not terrible. But other teams are terrible. The Raiders are terrible. The Cardinals are terrible. The Browns are terrible. And spoiler alert to Dante Moore, because, again, he's not having a great game tonight. But as Snowball said earlier, one game does not make an individual. But if he decides after tonight, he's like, rough showing, I want to go back to school. Again, God bless, it's his choice. He can do whatever the hell he wants. But if he has any inkling to do it because he doesn't want to play for the Jets, hey, young man, we got 3 first-round picks next year. And I don't know what our record's going to be, but what if we end up with one of those first-round picks being you? Are you like, actually, I'm going to apply for my doctorate with the Ducks and try to see if I can avoid them again? Come on, man. Every team that is picking at the top of the draft, outside of very unique scenarios where it's a trade thing, like the Bears-Panthers situation where the Panthers traded up everything and that pick ended up belonging to the Bears and they got Caleb Williams from it. So they were a better team than what the pick indicated that they would have been. So outside those very rare scenarios, like you're going to a terrible team. They're picking at the top of the draft. They don't have a good infrastructure. They don't have good coaching. They don't have good rosters. There's a reason that they're picking at the top of the draft. So I don't think Dante or any player should fear going to the Jets. As a matter of fact, I hope I would use it as motivation if I was in their position. I want to turn the Jets around. That's what Joe Burrow said about the Bengals. I want to turn them around. And he took them to the Super Bowl. Now, there's some depressing times right now, but he was able to flip it. So that's what I hope happens. And yeah, the Todd McShay shit is annoying. I'm sorry that they fired your buddy, Joe Douglas. I have a tip for Joe Douglas. Be better at your fucking job, and maybe they wouldn't have fired you, but that's neither here nor there.
Exactly. So, but don't go to the Jets, right? Hey, insert quarterback. They have the second pick, and you might be guaranteed to win. Guaranteed to have $50 million. Just go back to school. Risk getting injured, risk potentially not being able to get in the top 3, right? And make money that's going to potentially set you up for the rest of your life. Not only that, but your actual kids type of stuff. If you know what you're doing with your money, yeah, don't worry about that. Don't do that. And you just said about Dante Moore not having a good game. Literally the play before they punted the ball to the Ducks, right? Some luck has to be on your side at times, right? So Mendoza, a similar scenario. His running back ran into him. The ball jumps in the air, but guess what? It doesn't fall, and the other people get it, right? But that happened to Moore itself. So you're right, Snowball. You don't let one game, essentially steer you and say, "Oh, this dude is trash. We don't need to get him." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But
and also, just one more thing on this narrative thing. People keep saying, I keep seeing this, and it's just dead wrong. Well, Dante Moore could make between $6 and $8 million if he goes back to school for NIL. And the Jets, he's making $10 million per year. Don't call it per year. Stop calling it per year. He gets $50 million guaranteed. And while I don't have his schedule of payments in front of me, it's guaranteed. So whether he gets it today, tomorrow, next week, it's guaranteed. So don't make it sound like $10 million per year. Look, it's quantifiable to what he's making in college. It's not. There is nothing that is going to compare to this life-altering generational wealth he's going to get. And by the way, if I'm Dante Moore and I believe in myself and I say I'm a pretty fucking good quarterback, not only am I getting the $50 million as an upfront signing bonus, I'm 1 year closer to getting my next contract if I'm anywhere decent. Do you think the Jets would rush to pay you if you just showed literally anything at any point during these years where they're like, well, we got to keep this guy? That's even more money. So it just doesn't make any sense. And again, that narrative specifically is annoying because it's such a terrible misrepresentation that the Jets are paying him $10 million this year. Look, it's comparable. The Nike people at Oregon can cover the difference. Yeah, if they're giving him a $50 million check, then awesome for you at college. I doubt that's going to happen.
It's the flavor of the month. I believe, not the flavor of the month, but it seems as though it's been the flavor of the year.
Right. Yeah.
Dunking on the Jets is just like, it's what the media has been doing. So, and it's becoming more popular as the year goes on. So, boo on the media, shame on the media, shame on anyone who, they're all professional sports. So, have some respect, although we don't get any, but as a professional reporter, as a professional commentator, a pundit, or whatever you are, right? Don't take the cheap shot. Don't go for the low-lying fruit because it makes you look like I'm sorry, I'll use the word. It makes you look like an asshole, right? So so cut the shit, stop it, do your job, report, and be an informative person, right? And stop dunking on some team that's been crushed every year. So
but Snowball and BG, just to kind of give you some history on Dante Moore's family, his dad was a single father and everything, worked multiple jobs to try to keep a roof over his head and everything. So, $50 million doesn't really matter to that at all. So
yeah, that's the thing I don't get. On the morning show, someone called in and they said, they gave us the backstory. It might have even been Bob. And he gives the backstory. His father was a single father, and he grinded, and he's like, and he gave this whole song and dance and said, "This is why money isn't that important." I'm like, wait, what? I thought we were going to end up at a different result on the book. That's not the plot twist I expected in this movie. Like, isn't it so critically important? Like, even apparently at Oregon, I think Bob told the story too. He got like a bunch of NIL money, and $10,000 of it he gave back to his high school. And he says, "See, money's not important." I'm like, wait, what? Isn't that why money is important? If he with $50 million, he can do whatever the hell he wants with the $50 million. You want to give it to charity? You want to build a library and say it's a Dante Moore library? Whatever you want to do, I don't care. But that is crazy. I just can't believe we heard that earlier, Johnny. About and then his religion and what does that have to do at all? Again, not judging. Do whatever you want. You're religious, great. You're not, great. I don't. Can you throw a football forward? Phenomenal.
His religion won't let him play in New York. Okay, for the Jets. That's what I think the guy.
I respect that. Yeah,
it just makes no sense. It's insane to me. Like, and the fact too that we're talking about Dante Moore, who has not declared yet as well, right? Yeah. But that's the other caveat in regards to this. So,
well, would it be the same thing if Fernando Mendoza claims, he declares for the draft, Dante Moore declares for the draft, and Ty Simpson, doesn't declare, and then everyone's like, oh, would they have the same story for Ty Simpson? Maybe not. I don't know. I'm going to use this opportunity to ask those of you watching to go over to YouTube and subscribe to Jets Worldwide. It's at Jets Worldwide. It's all one word. Very simple. Click on the like button because that's really nice of you to do, and then click on the subscribe button because we have guests on weekly, like this gentleman, Paul Boy Green Esden Jr., and you should subscribe to his channel if you haven't subscribed to it yet, and you're probably watching on his channel. We have a good number of people who watch on our channel, but we need more people to watch on our channel as well, right? Paul is generous enough to co-broadcast through his channels on Twitter and on YouTube and all the other things that he's broadcasting through to get our name out there. So again, we really appreciate the people who are taking the time watching this game with us and talking about the Jets and the future of the Jets and what's going to happen. Future shows will come up where we're going to attack other things about the Jets, like coaching, and you can always attack ownership and whatever, but we'll get to that later on down the road. Tonight was about the three quarterbacks who that we're trying to decipher a little more information about them, and Paul has graced us with some good information about them as well. Johnny's always up on his information like that. I have to say I appreciate you guys looking up all the stats and doing all that kind of stuff. I'm just a informational guy. I'm the rah-rah guy on this team.
No, you're the guy that makes all of everything on this show work. Because I tell you right now, Snowball, if people knew all the stuff that you do in the back end and on the everyday base for this show, right? Yeah. I mean, I might be, just the dude that talks too damn much itself.
He's our personality.
But you're literally
pretty face.
You're like everything else, right? Yeah. All the above.
Also, we have the mystery box. So if nobody knows what's in the mystery box, I sometimes I forget what's in the mystery box. I'm getting old, but we're making that climb to 500 subscribers. So when we get there, I'm going to choose one subscriber at random, and you're going to win what's in said box. So you don't know what it's going to be. It could be a fat stack of hundreds. It could be a part of Johnny's intestines. It could be a toenail clipping from Paul Boy Green Esden Jr. that he shipped over to me not 2 days ago, but I won't say anything about that. But you know what? It could be anything. But you're going to be happy with it regardless. So like I said, hit that. There better not be a kitten in that box. No, there's no. Well,
why is the bottom wet?
Why is the bottom wet?
Yeah.
Did she put Jello in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Name that movie.
Put her damn cat. Come on. Do you know what that is, Snowball?
No. I read books.
Come on. Christmas Vacation, man. The Griswolds. Come on.
Look, this show.
Bang! Another bomb Mendoza touchdown. Indiana's up 28-7. Jesus.
I need more to look incredible and have his only comeback right now.
yarder. That was terrific. What a bomb throw from Mendoza. Beautiful
and what placement of the ball.
100%. But I do want to give a plug. I know you just did it for your channel, but we're streaming live in a couple of different locations. So shout out to the people that may be watching on my Twitter account, @BoyGreen25, my YouTube account, perhaps @BoyGreen25. And I'm very proud of the community that we've all built as Jet fans, but I want to spread the love. And these boys do an amazing job. I was anytime I get invited is an absolute humbling experience. So folks, help them get to 500 subscribers. I want to know what the hell's in that mystery box, whether it's for me or to save that kitten that may be dying in there and running out of oxygen. So whatever the case happens to be, for the love of God, subscribe to this channel. Again, it's all one word. It's right above me, Jets Worldwide. If you guys are, again, as Snowball pointed out earlier, you could be multitasking. You could be on a computer or a tablet or a phone or what have you. It just takes an extra second. Make sure you head on over there. We're a Jets community. I always sort of get this every once in a while where someone will ask advice. They want to start a Jets podcast, and they're like, and one of the concerns they say of why they haven't started is like, there's too many Jets podcasts out there. I don't know where I fit in. You just make the show and then you fit in. We are a very welcoming Jets community, and we're open to so many awesome, unique, talented content creators. And we have a pair of them right here on the show in Johnny Boy and Snowball. So please show your support, everybody. Again, Jets Worldwide. Make sure you guys subscribe. Of course, like the video. You guys hear that all the time. Snowball gave a spiel about this earlier. That just feels like an action figure thing to say, and it means nothing, but it actually means everything. That's how this show that you're watching right now gets in front of other Jet fans. YouTube sees 50 likes, 100 likes, are like, oh, wow, Jets show, Jet fans, huh? Maybe other Jets fans are like this, and it recommends it to others based on the YouTube algorithm, which is likes, subscriptions, things of that nature. So make sure you guys do it. So 100% shout out to Brian J. Glick.
Yes.
There you go, Coach.
That's Coach.
That's
Coach.
So, Oglick, yeah.
This show is called Future today, okay?
Yeah.
So let's get into it. The future question that's been killing us. That I need you to get out your crystal ball, BG. I need you to tell me that this very important position, a position that has destroyed us in the past, it has hurt us to our hearts every single time that this individual went up there, right? This position used to literally hold your breath. Is Nick Folk coming back?
Is Nick Folk coming back? I hope so. I wish I had a more definitive answer. I want him back. Dante Moore just got obliterated in strip sacks. So
I want him to pass the ball. I want you to be successful. What's wrong with this guy?
Yeah. He just got strip sacked terribly. I believe Indiana just recovered that. So that's not good. They're currently down
the number 2 pick. The future New York Jet. Dante Moore. Yeah, that was bad.
He got absolutely annihilated. Sorry, Dante. I still hope you come out, though. You seem talented. The fact of the matter is, I would love Nick Folk back. To me, when he was signed, so many people thought it was a nostalgia thing. Like sometimes, a player comes back at the end and they just don't have it anymore. But you're just bringing them back for the story. Like, one last run. But it means like you just don't have it anymore. Nick Folk has it. He has led this season, including helps his statistics, but over the previous 2 seasons with the Titans, he led the league in field goal percentage conversion rate. He was number 1 in the league, and I'm glad that the Jets brought him in. It was cool to even get him back for the season. I know he's been contemplating retirement with his family. I have not heard a lot of updates on that. Zach Rosenblatt hinted that there was an update on that, but I don't know if he just said it and he didn't mean it, but I hope Folk comes back. But what I would say is this, Johnny Boy, that if Folk does not come back, which would be sad because I like Folk and his family a lot, there's no one I trust more than Chris Banjo to find a replacement kicker because he has seemingly answered every other question about special teams. And if anyone can find it, it would be him. So if Folk does not come back, I feel confident that Banjo will keep us in a position to replace him with someone that is viable.
How awesome was it to have a quarterback that could actually kick the ball and you did not really expect due to miss and not have to actually worry about it. There's one kick, I think with us, he kicked his career longest, right? At
That was,
50.
we were there. Oh, well, you weren't there, Johnny. You skipped out on us because you don't care about family. Oh, Snowball wasn't there either. He had priority. So actually, neither of you were there. I was about to give one of you credit, but neither of you were there. One of you cared more about your relationship with your significant other, which is nice.
It's my
I see where
anniversary.
I stand. Anywho, yeah, but I saw it for the Jets Cowboys game, 58-yarder. He lined up for it. And it was so funny that happened because my pop was sitting like 2 or 3 seats down from me. And he gave me shit that week saying, that Nick Folk leg, I don't know if it's there anymore. And I said, because he said some of the field goals he had made in the previous 4 weeks barely went through the crossbar. I'm like, oh, that's right. Hey, Pop, how many bonus points do you get if it goes way over the crossbar? Oh, none. Oh, it's either you make it or you don't. Oh, that's interesting. So all week he was giving me shit. I don't know. The old man doesn't have it. And they hit a friggin' 58-yarder career long. And it just went through. And I just turned down like this and looked down the line of seats and made eye contact. Went, okay. And I was like, yeah, there you go. That was like the most satisfying moment of that entire tailgate experience. So obviously he still has it. So again, I guess it would be a family decision, spend more time with his kids, I would assume, if he chose not to do it, because obviously the statistics were terrific this year.
Yeah.
There was that one kick that he had this year for like 50 something where it was super windy, but he kicked it kind of like almost like a line drive, very low.
Knuckleball. Yeah.
Right. And I was like, what is this? When I saw a kick, I'm flipping out. What is he doing, you old ass? Oh shit, he made it. Like,
yeah,
right.
So the high winds. So yeah, smart guy. I mean, comes with experience. I had a very poor opinion of Nick Folk, but
really, wow,
before he came back to the Jets, and it was all put on by. Okay, so I went to the Jets Patriots game. Remember when JFM was on, and the black uniforms and the DJ Reed interception that was called back and all that, right? So it was during halftime.
Michael Carter II,
yeah. So right, so it was halftime, and there were little kids in the end zone, and they were like playing football with, I don't know, one of the guys from the Patriots or whatever.
Okay,
and I was like, oh, nice moment. And Nick Folk like comes in, sets up his tee, and starts like kicking like right through the kids. And I'm like, holy shit, what an asshole. Like this guy's like, breaking up a moment with these kids. I'm like, I hate that freaking guy. And then he comes to the Jets and I'm like, I hate you, Nick Folk. And then he did Nick Folk things. And I was like, all right, I like you, Nick Folk. But like what a horrible, horrible thing.
That's funny.
Jay, save it, man. He's here. What else are we gonna do? Right?
So
he's here.
I can't tell if Jay is like being sarcastic because like he has been with me on other ones. Like I don't know if he's just doing it to like poke fun at the people that are screaming it from the rooftops, because he's either been back and forth or he's been dropping jokes. So I'm not sure if Three Tips actually believes that or not.
You never know what Jay is saying because sometimes now he's extending.
Yeah, see, I don't know.
Yeah, he was like
he's a mystery. He's
like
an enigma.
Get rid of Aaron Rodgers, keep Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
People over there can't make up their minds.
Jay is wanting to keep AG. He is on the same boat with you and I, Boy Green, right? Where
it's a small boat.
Like keep AG. So to end tonight's show,
okay,
we are going to talk about, and I know everybody's favorite topic right now is AG. Okay, it's been everywhere right now.
Johnny, you have the steering wheel. Boy Green has the rudder. I'm just a passenger.
So myself and Boy Green are one of the guys that are wanting to keep AG. Okay.
Yes.
I do not believe in the whole one and done, especially when you had talent, quote unquote talent from the previous regime. You had to figure out which were the good players, what the hell was going on prior to that. I liked, right? And here he is. He walked in because he knows. Shout out to Chef, right? But we are, maybe, I guess we are AG truthers. whatever. But you do not hear anything from what the New York Jets are doing anymore. In the past, everything was leaked out and you found out what was going on. But AG's not going to get no credit for that at all, right? The draft that these guys did, but it was all Muji. It was only Muji. Muji was the only one that got these guys. Muji was the only one that really brought in these free agents. Muji was the only one that really made the whole trade stuff occur and everything. So, Boy Green, I'm going to ask you, why should we keep AG, right? Why is everybody just so like, get this dude out of here? I get it. We're 3-14. What were we expecting this year? Were you guys wanting that we were going to go playoffs? Were you guys thinking that we were going to freaking have this insane great season itself, right? Do you expect your coach to go on the podium and say, hey, New York Jets fan base, we're going to have a shitty season. We're built for this. No, come on, man. Boy Green, pass it on to you, my good sir.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know why the vitriol is so intense. It's been 1 year. It's not like AG, and I think people overreact to what happened in the offseason. So people make it seem like AG said, we're winning 100 Super Bowls. And then they're 3-14, like, oh, what an idiot. Like, he was asked a question. And again, I understand how AG answered it. And then it got totally taken out of context. Someone asked him about winning. And AG went, of course I expect to win. What are you talking about? Like, and folks went, oh, this guy thinks he's going to come in here and start winning games. And then apparently expectations change, and now like the Jake Asmans of the world, because now I gotta call out people on shows. Jake Asman's like, look, he's a fucking liar. Look, he said we're gonna win now 3 games in a 17-game season, and a lot of people blew that up. And I'm like, what was he supposed to say? We're here to lose now. What? Like, of course he's here to win now. He didn't say win 12 games. He didn't say win 15 games. He didn't say go to the playoffs. But everyone makes it sound like he broke the unwritten rule, and he was supposed to say, sorry, we're going to suck this year. We're going to tank. Sorry, fans. We're going to blow it. That's the goal for this year. Of course, his goal is to win. So I just think we overreact to all that stuff.
But Boy Green, look how he treated Aaron Rodgers.
Right.
He was just such a mean man to him. Because Aaron Rodgers would have gotten us to the playoffs this year, and we would have been so much better with him.
You know what's interesting is that you bring up, the no media leaks, and now our next topic comes up with a slight, graze of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers was the one that was on the Pat McAfee show spewing off all kinds of bullshit about other stuff, which, by the way, I didn't mind. I'm like, cool. You want to talk on the show? For me, as the whatever made-up title I am, a reporter, the content creator, or whatever, I made sure, and I thought it was good.
Super fan,
right? Like the WFAN show.
WFAN.
The super fan.
You haven't heard the clip.
Yeah, I'll have to reshare that on my YouTube story, so you guys, or YouTube shorts, that you guys can see it. So in my super fan world, I felt it was important that I was most up to date with whatever Aaron Rodgers said, because I'm sure questions could come up. So I want to make sure I was fully knowledgeable about whatever he said. So I subjected myself to the 2 hours of Aaron Rodgers on Pat McAfee, his multiple press conferences a week. And again, I want to reiterate, I didn't give a shit. He's his own man. He wants to talk about politics. He wants to talk about anything that revs his engine. God bless America. But it's funny that, like, the guy that said, let's keep it football, let's keep it business, and he was saying all kinds of stuff that were creating headlines all over the place, and then we're getting quote-unquote leaks, and as soon as he leaves, the leaks disappear. That's interesting. And then now he's giving us shit this week saying, it feels good to just go to a football team and focus on football. Not have to worry about all the other BS, even though he created the BS. Who caused this? So that part just is like bonkers to me about that level here. So no, that's one, Johnny, though, at the beginning of this that I haven't heard any AG supporters bring up outside of you, like as a thing, like, hey, the media league sort of stopped. Even like go to free agency last year. I was getting surprised as everyone else was getting surprised. There wasn't a lot of, hey, this move's going to happen. And it sort of was like interesting, like, wow, okay, it is a tight ship. We're not getting a lot of rumors about things they may or may not do, which I also found fascinating. But long story short, to answer, go back to what you originally said, like, why keep AG and all this other stuff. Again, I just don't understand why fans are so intense outside of that win thing that people blew up, of like why they hate his guts and want his head out of Pike. I don't remember this about Robert Saleh. I know he followed Adam Gase, and so maybe he got a grander honeymoon, but Robert Saleh wasn't great either. We champion him like, he won 7 games a couple of seasons. Is that the standard? Is that what we're supposed to be expecting? So long story short, a few things that I like about AG personally is some of the hires. Chris Banjo obviously was spectacular. Steve Hyden, the offensive line, after the Keith Carter disaster, Steve Hyden was terrific on the offensive line. This was our best group in a very, very long time on One Jets Drive. He reduced the penalties. Here's the thing, if you talk to if it's an AG truther versus an AG detractor, 2 of those people enter the octagon, 1 walks out. Anytime an AG truther gives any positive that AG did this season, they either say, wow, that was Muji, that wasn't AG, okay, or they're like, well, fuck you. Like the penalties, right? Jets were dead last at 32nd, and now they're like 21 in penalties. And I'm like, wow, good progress. That's a 25+% increase. We'll check that with Professor Snowball here in a second to make sure my numbers are right. And I said, wow, that's pretty significant. They're like, loser. Significant for losers. That doesn't make any. And I'm like, oh, okay. So like whatever you say, they just trash and destroy. Like they don't believe it. The Isaiah Williams situation, Nick Folk. Again, they went down this path of like Harrison Mevis and Caden Davis will work, and they went, Jesus, it won't. Pivot to Nick Folk. We didn't sign any defensive tackles. Pivot right before the season. Juwan Briggs, Harrison Phillips. That was good decision. So I just felt like he did a really good job of like choosing a path. He thought it was wrong, so he pivoted. And no matter what, you can't please people.
But Boyd Green and Snowball, the years when we had Saleh, we won 7 games. Yeah, we won 8 games, right? And our defense was so good and everything.
5 games with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Our offense was up there. What? Yo, when people are saying, yeah, well, at least we won 7 games. Yo, we still had a losing record. We didn't make the playoffs. Our offense was straight dumpster trash. We've never been more than the 25th ranked offense in the entire league. Okay, when the Saleh and them were over here, our special teams was trash. Yo, we were missing. We made Greg the leg look like Greg the broken leg. Like, what are we talking about when it comes to this?
On Darren Muji, who everyone gives the credit to, but all the shit goes to AG. Folks, AG is the reason Muji is here. AG was hired first. We were expecting a hire of a guy named Lance Newmark from Washington in moments, and it was weird. Like, he was in the building, and then we heard no update. And then a new update. The Jets have reopened the search. Like, whoa, what the hell happened? What do you mean you reopened the search? I thought he was the guy. And then all of a sudden Muji comes in, and no one gives credit for AG for picking Muji. If you like the things Muji did, that's an AG feather in his cap. So that's another thing that's super annoying that I don't understand why he doesn't get credit for that situation. That to me, again, I just want to also reiterate this because Jake Asman, because I keep pointing him out on this show, is he's like now infamous for this. I must ask, what does Aaron Glenn do well as a coach? He just keeps repeating the same question 1,000 times a day and goes through it. I want to start off with obviously not much. They're 3-14. So, when Bill Parcells and fucking, Chuck Noll and any coach that had a terrible first year, what's the things they did well? Not much, Bob. Obviously, they went 3-14. So, like, I just want that to be in the universe. But there are things he did well. And I pointed out a bunch of them on the show so far that we're talking about. And some people don't like those answers. And if you don't like those answers, then so be it. But again, they're 3-14. There's limited things he did well, obviously. But here's the real thing I just want to get to now. Guys, it's January 9th. AG's not going anywhere. He's not going to be fired. There's not a Mike McDaniel situation coming where a couple days later he's going to be fired. He's coming back. So the AG detractors in the audience, I've got a message for you. I'll look right in the camera. Fucking get over it. He's here. So, get your panties out of a twist and just embrace the reality. Let me just make this clear. We heard you. You're not happy about it. Suck an egg. I'm sorry.
Hold on.
Too bad. Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Sure.
We at Jets Worldwide, and I'm
Of
sure
course.
Paul, whether you love Aaron Glenn or whether you hate Aaron Glenn,
sure,
or whether you whatever, we love you, no matter what, right?
Yeah, right.
This is football. Yeah. It is part of being it's part of being a fan, right? You're going to have people who love what a team does, and you're going to have people who hate what a team does. And the big truth of it all is that we can't do anything about it. So, we are victims of the system. We are victims of administration. We are victims of ownership. And all we have to do is just ride the waves. So, get your pitchforks, get your torches, whatever it is that you want to do, and do it because you have the freedom to do it. But we're going to roll with what's happening at this point. So let's see what he does picking coaches next.
Yeah, and again, I love different opinions. So I'm not trying to shovel us into a tunnel and say, hey, you either got to be an AG pom-pom guy or die. No, if you still hate his guts, God bless America. But save a little bit of your breath and not just a fire AG. Someone commented on the show today. I didn't get a chance to highlight the comment. They're like, hey, we shouldn't be talking about this new defensive coordinator they're interviewed. We should be talking about a candidate because AG should be fired. And I'm like, God damn it, he's just not going to be fired. So, let's stop wasting our breath with that and see how we can improve the team. This is a critical offseason for the Jets. Cap space, draft picks, these defensive coordinator interviews. I want to watch Jets shows where who the hell is Durante Jones? Who is that guy from the Vikings? That's what I want to learn about. Oh, the Jets are going to interview this assistant. All right, give me more information. Who is this guy? Oh, the Jets could sign these 12 quarterbacks. All right, give me more information on the quarterbacks. Try to make me a smarter fan. That's what I want us to spend our time on, quite frankly, moving forward. Again, people are going to do whatever show they want to, and God bless America. It allows us to do this, but I hope that we could just try to think of how we can fix this as opposed to whining about something that's not going to happen. Again, heard. The opinions have been shared by the AG detractors. It's impossible not to hear you with how loud all you guys are on every social media app that exists. We've heard you. Now let's move on.
It does make it fun, though.
Oh, sure.
It
Obviously,
does.
it's turned into a topic on the show. So, yeah, it's been good.
To piggyback off of both of you guys, right? Look, am I disappointed on the season itself? Fuck yes. We're 3-14, okay? Anybody that wouldn't be upset about what you saw, it's bonkers. But I have to say this, okay? It's okay if you want to get rid of AG. Everybody's entitled to their opinion in regards of the reason why they want to fan the way they fan, whatever. It's cool.
And if he sucks next year, kick his ass out.
Yeah,
of course.
That's
we're
it.
all on the same page here. I hope that again, if he stinks, all right. See, it's not as if the AG truthers are saying, well, if he goes 0-17, I guess, in year 2, I guess we could try to figure. No, we're all with you guys, but people are making it seem like this was year 2. It wasn't. It was year 1. And while I didn't want 3-14 any more than the next guy, let's see if he can figure out some of his mistakes. If he can, he's going to be fired. And we're going to have 3 first-round picks and tons of cap space. I'm sure that job's going to be just as attractive next year as it is this year if they were to fire him. So, yeah.
I apologize, Johnny. Keep going.
Oh, yes.
No. I mean, because again, like I was saying to you guys, it's the truth. Like, look, it is what it is. If whoever's out there, right? And I'm not just going to single out anybody or whatever. It's just to everybody. Look, if you don't want Aaron Glenn, cool. It is what it is, right? You have every reason not to want Aaron Glenn because we are 3-14, right? Mm-hmm. We did have a shitty season and stuff like that. But I don't have to agree with your opinion, right? And if I don't agree with your opinion, I shouldn't be shitted on for not agreeing with opinion and be told that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You're an idiot for it and everything. Now, I'm not here saying again, like I'm not calling anybody out or anything. It's everybody. You're entitled to the way you feel about Aaron Glenn or the Jets organization as a whole or whatever. Okay, because it is what it is at the end of the day. I'm not going to tell you how to fan. And I don't think anybody should tell you how to fan. But I'm somebody that, and this is coming from a guy that did not want Aaron Glenn off the rip. I did not want Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn for me was my fourth pick out of the coaches that were coming out during that time. I was a Brian Flores guy, pounding the table for Josh McCown to come on over here, right, and kind of go for there. Now, this upcoming year, if he sucks, if he stinks, of course he's going to be on the hot seat. Why would he not? If you do not see progression in what this organization is doing, then, get him out. All that, because we have another draft coming up where you have 3 number ones. Is that correct?
Yeah.
In 2027, that's correct. Yep.
Right? Okay. So you're telling me there's not going to be somebody out there that's like, holy shit, the Jets have 3 number ones. I could work with that. Plus the whatever they did, the draft before. You might not like the guy because he gets on a podium and says, tell Rich Cimini, about the
knows everything.
About the injury report. He knows everything and all that. But the year before that, people were calling Rich Cimini an asshole, a piece of crap and all that because he's always shitting on the New York Jets, but he's a reporter for them. And I was one of the guys, I was never like that. I was like, he's just doing his job. Like, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's asking these questions that, people are scared to ask. So that's why, like, I can't give any flack to anybody that's like, yo, AG's done. Like, get rid of him, blah, blah, blah. It is what it is at the end of the day. But the fact of the matter is, we're not getting rid of him. He's here. He's with us. And we just have to hope. The new hope. And hope that the damn future is bright. Because as of right now and all that, looks like this motherfucker Moore is going back to school. And we don't know what's going to happen now. So, if I'm being honest.
We got a big second half coming up. A big second half.
I hope so. I mean, for his sake, I really do. I really hope that he comes back with a vengeance. Because I don't know. Do they pull Mendoza now?
Yeah, Mendoza's 10 of 11 for like 130 yards and 3 touchdowns.
But you know what's going to be crazy about that stat? If
What's
they
that?
were, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Mendoza's not the guy. He only threw the ball 11 times.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But he's a system quarterback.
You know what? I really don't think the Raiders should take him, to tell you the truth. Like the Raiders absolutely should avoid taking the system quarterback who is not good in a dirty pocket. So yeah, please, Raiders. I think they should take the risk and actually go for Ty Simpson at number 1.
Hey, by the way, just real quick, Snowball, because you brought it up, dirty pockets and stuff. They're showing some of the advanced analytics on Mendoza in the first half. He was 4 of 5 for 30 yards and 2 touchdowns against the blitz tonight so far. So again, Mendoza seeming to thrive against the blitz kitchen sink that was thrown at him by Oregon. So nice.
Yeah, but it's the Oregon defense. So like
well, that's
NFL
also true.
defense too. So,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's
right?
right.
So yeah, the guy's garbage, hot garbage. Mendoza, hot garbage. Raiders, avoid him at all costs. If you're listening to me, Davis family, take my advice. Okay, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and again, man, like, we don't fucking know, man. That's the other thing about this. The fact that there's nothing really coming out of the camp from the New York Jets is driving everybody insane. Before, bro, you would hear about everything. You would hear about, who the janitor is dating in the background or whatever from the New York Jets itself. We just don't know. They're moving in silence. And to me, man, I kind of like that. It's different, and keep it going. All you could do is hope that this upcoming season is better than what it was this year. And then it keeps getting better and it keeps getting better until they finally figure it out. But a quarterback is the position of need for us.
Yeah.
Like, we got to get it right.
And
we have to get it right.
And as people have been saying, and as it has been proven, right, it takes a quarterback and a head coach. Unfortunately, our head coach is not the most favorable person in New York right now. So that is to be determined, to be determined at a later point. He's going to need a great supporting cast around him to help him turn this franchise around. I pray that he can do that and get the right people in place to make the team look respectable. I don't know. You guys have anything else to discuss? Because this conversation might be over.
Yeah, it's
Like this
donezo,
game.
man. Yeah. Like it's I don't
Hey,
know,
Dante
man.
Moore is still coming out. So I see Alon getting all angry in the chat. He's still coming out. 50 million reasons why he is. Yeah. So what? Yeah, this was a bad performance. See, why would you go back to Oregon to play like this? NFL
Last
draft,
question.
baby.
Last question.
Okay.
Fernando, right, has a great game. Fernando goes into the next game.
Sure.
Do you trade up to get Fernando now?
I would totally explore it. I mean, I would have explored it before this game because I've liked Fernando all season, or loved Fernando. Let me make sure I use the right L word. I've loved Fernando all season long, so I would have explored it anyway. The Raiders, while people in the audience don't want you to think so, they're a dumpster fire. And so if you're the Jets, again, we don't know if Dante Moore is going to enter. It would seem unlikely based on this horrific performance. But, if you're the Jets, you'd rather have your pick of the litter. It was unlikely, even if Dante Moore does enter the draft, which again is still up in the air. If he and Fernando enter the draft, it's unlikely they're going to come to the conclusion, oh, wow, we grade them exactly the same. They're the same thing. You know what? First overall pick. Has someone got a coin in the room? Whoop. Oh, I guess we're taking Dante. Whoop. Oh, I guess they were taking Fernando. Like, it seems to me incredibly unlikely that their draft scouting report is going to be exactly the same. I would assume they, like any other team, would have a preference if they got to number 1 overall and they have that choice for one or the other. So if there was a way to get to number 1 overall and allow this team to make their choice and pick that quarterback, I'd totally be open to it. So I hope I haven't heard that conversation much this offseason, but I hope we're very early in the offseason, at least for us. There's a bunch of other teams that are playing in something they call the playoffs. I'm still uncertain how that whole process works, but so they're not in the offseason yet, but we are. So I'd love to hear what it would cost if the Raiders are open to it, because why wouldn't you want your pick of the litter at quarterback?
Yeah, I'm in favor of exploring the idea as well. Trading up to 1. It depends on what you're going to have to give up
probably
a shit
ton. Let me ask you guys real quick, right?
Yeah.
Were you guys pissed on the way the season ended?
No, I loved it.
Getting my fucking teeth kicked down my throat by 5 games in a row by 23 or more points. Yes, upset. I don't know what the word to use. Like, some of us are numb.
Were you pissed?
Yeah, that was to get. We get jokes all the time as Jet fans, but I don't give a shit whether they win. I do care if they win or lose, but like in terms of like the next day, oh, I can't wear a Jet shirt. They lost yesterday. I don't think that way at all. I wear Jet shit every day of my life: hats, shirts, pants, shoes, socks, underwear. For those that were curious. So yeah, I wear it all. So yeah, it was like deflating. But I also, in the same breath, while some other people apparently don't have the mental capacity to be able to split these things, I knew that they rolled over the deadline. That like they died that night, and it was about the future. And I was still going to root for all the games. I'm not going to bypass. Well, I guess I'm not watching any more games this season. I'm all in on all the games, no matter what. So I was hoping that, in the game as I'm rooting, I'm like, I want touchdowns. I want to turn this thing around. So, to get our teeth kicked down our throat stunk. But I also understood, again, the multiple multiverses we could all have in our brain. Wow, the number 2 overall pick would help this team. So I rationalized the loss after the loss happened. But yeah, I was pissed. I didn't enjoy losing like that.
I think this was the most empty I felt.
So if they asked the owner of this organization, how do you feel about the last games of the season, and he says, I'm pissed off,
I can't believe
it's the same shit on how we all felt. This whole fucking season sucked.
I can't believe this. So I won't say I've referenced Jake Aston this entire time. So Jake's morning show was about this Woody Johnson thing. So I heard, luckily I was available last night. So as soon as Flight Deck, that's Rich Samini's podcast, dropped, it's like 45 minutes and change. I got to listen to the whole 45 minutes like immediately. So as soon as he dropped it, I'm like, oh wow, I'm doing laundry. Great. I'll listen to it. I listened to the whole thing. And then the whole Woody pissed off thing that inspired the Jake Aston show this morning came out, where Rich revealed that Woody Johnson was pissed. And I like paused the podcast, went, yeah, no shit. I hope he's pissed. Like, Jesus, his team that he's a billion-dollar owner, a multi-billion-dollar owner of, just got freaking embarrassed and trounced. I would be much more concerned if he was like, no, I'm good. I felt if he gave the snowball answer, yeah, I'm sort of numb to it, to be honest. Like that, as a fan, I'd be like, what the fuck? You can't say that. Like, so to hear that he was pissed, like that, so many people had a startled reaction, like, geez, why didn't he fire AG? Do we want this guy to be like a psychopath murderer? Anytime he gets upset, watch out. He could take you or your kids out. Like, what? How does that make any sense?
Watch out for that Woody Johnson.
Yeah, apparently. That's what I did not get. Wait, he's pissed off, but he didn't fire AG. I don't want him every time he gets pissed off to just, he gets a gun out and there's 5 bullets in the chamber and he rolls to the right. Yeah, right. He spins a revolver. Somebody's going down. I'm pissed. All right. Sorry, Johnny, you're out. Up, Freddie in sales, you're gone. Like, what? So, like, I just don't understand why people were, first off, surprised that he was pissed. Why the hell wouldn't he be? And number two, that like it was this stunning thing that he was pissed, and that should have resulted in an AG thing. I want him to be pissed, and I think this is what happened. Woody Johnson's obviously pissed. AG meets with a pissed off Woody, and Woody's like, what the hell is your plan? And AG obviously sold him a plan that Woody bought, that calmed him down, said, you know what, that plan makes sense to me. Let's roll. Because if that didn't happen, and when Woody's like, AG, what the fuck, man? And AG gives a plan that like was underwhelming. He's like, yeah, you're gone. That plan sucks. I'm firing you and I'm picking a different direction. So obviously Woody bought the plan. Not everyone has to buy the plan. But if Woody bought the plan, that's all that is necessary, and they're moving forward. So again, Johnny, the fact that you brought that up, like I was like in disbelief, the response from Woody Johnson. We're probably going to have to talk about that in the morning show tomorrow now with my old man coming in. Like that is just so beyond me. I don't understand.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, would you like, if I'm the owner of a squad and my team's doing trash and they've been like trash for I don't know how long, we have not made the playoffs in how many years, you haven't had a winning season, and then you got, hey, so what you think about the final 5 games of the season? Oh, it fucking sucked, and I'm pissed the fuck off. I'm not a happy dude. Like, I'm getting shitted on by so many individuals. Blah blah. Like, what are we talking about? Snowball, I'm sorry for cutting you, man.
No. You kind of said what I was going to say. Like, first of all, I think it's funny that Woody was pissed.
Thank you.
That term in itself is actually pretty funny. But the other part of it though is like, like you've been saying, you want your owner to be angry. The only thing that I question is that, like, is he acting it out? Like, I'm pissed off, because he doesn't seem like an over emotive type of a guy, right? Every time they talk to him, he's very, even the words that he says have a lot of meaning, but like he doesn't over emote. So like for him to be pissed, what exactly is it that he said? The plan, like you had mentioned, Paul, that Woody is the sword, right? Like you either live or die by the sword. Right. And he is the sword of the Jets. So obviously AG is one smooth talker, because
obviously, yeah,
he really, like, if he doesn't have a plan, then he's like his next job should be an attorney, because but you have to believe, and I believe, and we'll go around the room and we'll just say I believe, right? But you have to believe that he does have some kind of a plan. Whether it sucks or it's successful is yet to be seen. And that's next season. But Woody fell for it this year, and if he fell for it and it succeeds, then yes, wow, amazing, right? But if he fell for it and he got duped again, well, see you at the head coach search next year.
Right. Outside of the random blips where Woody Johnson says something stupid, like when he was just like, yeah, well, clearly Justin Fields is the reason we're 0-7. And like he like blew up and said like, yeah, obviously AG can't win with that shitty quarterback. Like, sometimes there's like anger or like passive aggressive, whatever you want to call it, like where he has sort of those side anger spurts. For the other parts, he's just sort of theatrical in the way that he like tells us what he thinks we want to hear in some of these press conferences. Like, guys, don't worry. This in the introductory press conference, this Muji Glenn tandem, they're the guys. I know Glenn. I've known Glenn for a very long time. He is a personal friend. I know Glenn. He's my best friend. I hug him every day. I love Glenn. Like, so he just sort of tells us what I think he thinks what we want to hear sometimes.
That's what,
and that can sometimes be extra.
That's
Chef.
Yeah, that's right.
Chef is swinging right now at the air, bro. Like, he's got this is a safe space for AG troopers. So
that's beautiful. So let's see if Lou B joins in. Yeah.
Oof. But gentlemen, I believe we've reached the end.
Yes.
We thought we reached the end before, but then we got a second wind. We had an AG second wind. Nice. Again, Paul, please plug everything that you want to plug before we cut it off here.
Yes, so I'm doing a lot of free giveaways on. So I've got my channel, which is Boy Green Daily. You guys can just look it up. Look up Boy Green; it'll pop right up. I am trying to chase 10,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@boygreen25. I've been growing that channel for 5+ years now, and that's been a lot of fun. I'm also working on a brand new channel that I started over the summer. It's a radio show that I've worked on for. The show has been on for 25 years. I've worked on it for over 10 years, and we've turned it completely digital. The show is called The Man Show with Boy Green Digital. You guys see it in the same way that Jets Worldwide is cross-streaming tonight. That's what we do for the MC Show digital channel. And for that channel, just like this channel, they're both trying to chase 500 subscribers. And for folks who don't know, that's the first level of monetization on YouTube. I'm sort of breaking the fourth wall here, but that's how the lights can stay on. And for the MC Show channel, we're like 40 subscribers away or something. We're in that general ballpark, and we're doing free giveaways for every milestone. So at the 475 mark, which has another 15, 20 people on it, we're giving away the full Anchorman bobblehead collection from the movie, which is cool. At 500, we're giving away a $400 golf club. So we're just trying to juice up the prizes. Hopefully you guys subscribe. That's at youtube.com/@MC Show Digital, or if it's just easier, look up The Man Show with Boy Green Digital on YouTube and it'll pop right up. So make sure you guys subscribe. I've loved growing that channel. It's been a lot of fun. I'm live even more, which is awesome. So it's a great blessing. So thank you guys so much for having me on. And guys, don't forget, like Jets Worldwide, baby. Boom. It's right here. And that merch shop. Let me get a gander over there. Shop the merch store, jetsworldwide.printify.me. I like that. JWW.
That's it.
Hey, and that was it. Well, with that being said, this is the end of the show. Watch the second half of You Hope It's the More show, and the dude balls out and his defense could stop him. And then it's like, oh my God, look, he came back from a deficit and look what he did against Indiana. And anyways, with that being said itself, man, BG, appreciate you, brother.
Thank you so much, Paul. It's so nice of you to join us and co-broadcast with us. We really appreciate it. All of your viewers, coming over and subscribing to our channel as we speak is speaking volumes about the poll that you have. Thanks so much. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Joe.
If you do go to jetsworldwide.printify.me, we do have the ultimate AG Truther t-shirt. So if you would like to pick that up, it's the one of us t-shirt. So
my favorite shirt. It's my favorite shirt.
I'm gonna have to shop that after this.
Johnny is the ultimate troll. So yes, like we said, AG Truther, AG hater, we love you anyway. It doesn't matter. It's football. It's a team. It doesn't matter. All right. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, everybody. We really appreciate it. We'll end it right here. Johnny, you got the end the stream controls?
Oh, yes, sir. And with that being said, this has been another Jets World
Wide.
Deuces. We're out. Later, guys.
Thank you.
We started off as Titans, and now we're the Jets. The start of every season always starts with the sweats. Vinny T, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, what's the deal? Don't even try to tell me that the curse ain't real. We're coming for you, run, nothing high. Snowballing Johnny Boy, his Jets worldwide. Why? Yeah, like and subscribe. But fumble, fail, Mary, choking Fitzpatrick. The end of every season is always tragic. Doug Bryant missed, everybody got pissed. Super Bowl seasons ended with just one twist. 15 years without the playoffs. Is Aaron Glenn legit? We're the friggin' New York Jets and we're built for the shit. We're coming for you, real and high.